we are inspecting and verifying the status of implementation of various government projects. We did start with the Kisii bypass phase 2. The implementing agency of that project is Kura. Yeah? This involves upgrading of up to 14.2 million kilometers of road to bitumen standards. The project cost is 846,921,000. This project is at 32% completion rate. We envisage that the project will be undertaken within the envisaged timelines, and this will have a major impact because it will improve connection between Kisii and Nyamira counties, more so on the stretch from Kegati to Omogon-Choro. That will facilitate trade between the market centers along that road. We also visited the affordable housing project at Nyaribari Masaba, being implemented by the State Department for Housing. The scope is 240 units of housing, entailing 3 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, studio, and single rooms. This project is to the tune of 722 million shillings. We are at 13%, and all factors being held constant because we don't have any challenges with this affordable housing project, including the financing. We envisage that this project will be completed within the stipulated timelines. The impact will be 1, job creation for the youth who are employed on the projects. 2, affordability of housing by the residents of the region. Yeah? We are moving away from the traditional approach of building homes in ancestral lands to moving into these affordable housing units in centralized locations. And this, if pursued to a logical conclusion, will also help us sort out the unplanned infrastructure development within Kisii town and its environs. We did also visit a cold storage facility for avocado and other horticultural crops. The project cost is at 91 million shillings. It's located in Nyaribari Masaba. And this has a provision for 8 cold rooms, and it will also complement now the ESP markets, which the national government is rolling out in partnership with the county governments. A classical case of a project we visited yesterday is the Nyamache Bridge. This is being undertaken by a contractor in the name of Uniplaxi Enterprises Limited. The project cost is 19 million shillings. It was envisaged that this project was going to take 9 months. The contractor has undertaken this project in a record 3 months. Yet the contractor has not yet received any payment from what? From government. This is a typical case of a serious contractor with capacity to execute government what? Government projects. And these are the type of contractors that we really need to consider for repeat jobs moving into the future. We did visit another road. This is the Ringangu, Kenyenya, Mutonto, Mesel, Tabaka, Bonyancha road in Bomachoge. The project cost is 3 billion shillings. It is currently at 77% completion rate. That is about 60 kilometers of blacktop laid, and it will facilitate farmers and business persons by enabling efficient movements of goods and services within Bomachoge. The other road we have visited is Manyasembe Etago Kenyenya Road, being undertaken by the national government through KERA at a cost of 759 million shillings. This road is 100% complete. It connects both South Migrango and Bamachoge Burabu constituencies, and we envisaged that we will undertake official commissioning of this project in the not too distant future. Another project we have visited is the ESP market at Etago, being implemented by the State Department of Housing and Urban Development at a cost of 56 million shillings. This is going to provide adequate facilities for itinerary traders, most of our mothers and sisters involved in that space, and the youth. For purposes of trade, it will also create jobs and market for our youth who are in the Juakali sector in terms of supply of windows and steel doors and so on and so forth. We have again inspected and verified the status of Riosiri, Esoko, Ikoba, Stores Loop Roads, being implemented by Kera at a cost of 740 million. The project implementation rate is at 65%. It will improve accessibility within South Mirgango constituency. We also did visit Kisii University yesterday. The national government, through the State Department of Higher Education, is implementing there an amphitheater. There's also an ICT center of excellence, and as well as a tuition block. The tuition block is going for being implemented at 534 million, the lecture theater at 527 million shillings, and the ICT center at 984 million shillings. These projects are near completion, or on average about 90 to 97% completion levels. The outlying financial provision which is necessary to complete these projects has been provided for within the coming financial year that is effective next month, and we should be able to get done and dusted with these projects in the next couple of months or so. We have also inspected the maintenance of the Metembe, Owalo, Rioma, Mbandangenyi, and Bobaricho, Gesieka, Nyaori, Marani roads. This is within Kitutu Chache North constituencies. The project value is 4.4 billion shillings. It is currently at 25% status level, and the contractor is on site and work is ongoing. And then unfortunately, we have wound up our project inspection at this cancer center. We are not impressed at all as government with the progress on this particular project. We have consulted with the ministry. We have interrogated the contract that was entered into. There are issues which are emerging. One, the contractor was given a down payment of 20% of the project value. The overall progress of the contract is at 6% of the project. Yeah, it's at 6%. So there's a discrepancy. Okay. Now, the contractor himself says that there are certain certificates he has raised which have not been settled. But the government pays on the basis of certified certificates. That means there has to be alignment between, in terms of value and milestone attained, between the contractor, the project coordinator, and the project manager. The resident engineer and the project manager. Yeah? So the government can only pay based on certified certificate. And what is the basis of certification? Certification, one, is in conformity to the terms and conditions of the contract, is in conformity to whether or not the milestones have been achieved as was envisaged and subsequently entailed in the what? In the contract. I think that's where the difference is, that we don't have a certified certificate pending with government. On the side of government, our greatest concern is that we have already given out a down payment of 20%, and the project overall is only at 6%. The contractor himself seems not to be enthusiastic about coming up with an amicable work plan on the way forward. He's making his argument on the basis of a certificate that has not been certified. Another thing, when you are engaged by any procuring entity, it is tied to a given timeline, and that project is also tied to a budgetary cycle. If I make financial provision if we make financial provision as government for a given project, we have to absorb that money within a given period of time. And the government has got its own budgetary cycle. So if certain milestones are to be attained within a given financial year, we expect that the contractor will attain the requisite milestones, issue certificates within those timelines to enable government to make the payments, and that informs the project absorption rate. Here we are now, we have a few days to the end of the financial year. We have a budgetary provision of 1 billion shillings on this project between now and the end of the financial year. How is government going to absorb that money if the payment is not made? Are you getting where we are coming from? Yeah? Within the next few days, which certificates will the contractor raise to the tune of Kenya shillings 1 billion shillings to enable the government make the necessary payments? So the long and short of it is that the assessment that we have made here today, the conclusion we are drawing is that we got into a contract with a contractor who did not have the capacity to execute this project. As we speak, we have already eaten into 50%, over 50% of the project timeline. Yet the project progress rate is at 6%. How do we account for that discrepancy? Whatever you do, it doesn't need rocket science for you to realize that we will not be able to complete this project within the stipulated timelines. And if we don't absorb that money, then we'll also have, on the flip side of it, issues with the donors. It is the government that will be failing to absorb the money. The donors will not be concerned about the contractor. Yeah? And we are here dealing with a contractor who is very hostile. We did issue instructions yesterday that the contractor himself should be here on site. He has deliberately decided not to come, and as opposed to that, he has sent a representative because he knows very well that His Excellency the President himself had visited this project and he did commit to make fundamental progress on the project, and he has failed to do so. So we are going to make the relevant recommendations to all the relevant arms of government with respect to this project.